Good evening. We're going to call the CRA May 12th meeting to order. It's at 6:30 p.m. We're going to begin tonight's meeting with an invocation and a pledge of allegiance to the flag led by Board Member Woodrow Hay. If you'll please rise.
Let us pray. Father, we are grateful for another expression of your love. We thank you for this day. We are especially grateful for all mothers who celebrated on this past Sunday. We ask a special blessing for this CRA Board, the staff, and everyone that has taken a part in this great city of Boynton Beach. We ask you now, Lord, to continue to lead us and guide us, that we will make the right decisions that will be for the betterment of this city and its citizens. And we'll be so careful to give you all the honor and the glory that you deserve. We thank you. In our Savior's name we pray. Let all God's people say, Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have roll call, please.
Mr. Buchanan.
Here.
Mr. Fitzpatrick.
Here.
Mr. Hay.
Here.
Mr. McCray.
Here.
Mr. Merker.
Yes.
Vice Chair Sello.
Here.
Vice Chair Taylor.
Here. We have agenda approval. Any additions, deletions, or corrections to the agenda?
Mr. Chair, I'm going to need to add something on the new business.
Okay. Under new business, okay,
Yes,
it'll
sir.
be item
It's going to be E.
E.
Right, comments from Commissioner McCray.
Okay. Anything else? Is there-
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. There's a motion. Is there a second to approve the
Second.
agenda as amended? Motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Show the motion unanimous. Informational items by and disclosure by board members and CRA staff. Start with staff. Do you have anything?
No, thank you.
Woodrow Hay.
Yes, I did have the distinct honor on April the 18th of participating in a memorial being erected and established for PFC Micro Metcalf, who's the gave his life in service. His mom, Kim Metcalf, asked me to say a few words in that particular celebration. That particular statue was erected at the Little League field right here in our city on Woodbright Road, and that was a well-attended and an outstanding event. Also on Tuesday, May 5th, I, along with others of the board, attended the ribbon cutting for the Women's Circle. That was, in spite of the few drops of rain, a very successful event. And then again, I'd like to reiterate Happy Mother's Day to all of those who celebrated on this past Sunday. Thank you.
Thank you. Board Member Fitzpatrick.
Well, since the last board meeting, I was in Maine for about 10 days, and then when I came home, I went to the Women's Circle, and then I drove up to Fort Benning to see my nephew graduate from boot camp and back, so I haven't been around to get in any trouble. The only one, probably is only one phone call with the P&D chair about appraisals, and that's been the only real contact.
Board Member Casella.
Also attended the Women's Circle ribbon cutting there, and I tell you, if you believe in angels, we got two of them here on earth with that Sister Lorraine and Sister Pat. They're two outstanding individuals, and their hearts are filled with love and kindness, and it just bubbles over into all the good work they're doing. So that was a pleasure to do. I also attended the soft opening of the Copper Top Brewery up there in off High Ridge, and I can tell you, when they have the grand opening up there, make sure you attend. They've got some ales up there that'll knock your socks off. It's great. You'll totally enjoy it.
Board Member Merker.
Yes, thank you. Education is a must for all people, from the very young to the elderly. Education makes all of us understand the changes that society goes through as each generation steps forward to learn and understand one another. As each present their new ideas and make a life a little better for all. The month of May is just that, a group of people, the Jewish people, believing in the God Jehovah. The beauty of all religions is that its central theme is to love thy neighbor and be good and respectful to all. The month of May for the Jewish people has become and known as of April 20th, 2006, as President George W. Bush proclaimed May that it would be Jewish American Heritage Month. This month of May, recognizing the more than 350 historical years the Jewish people have contributed to American culture. This resolution passed unanimously in the House of Representatives in December 2005, and later unanimously in the Senate, February 2006. Is America not a wonderful place as it brings all people together as we learn and become educated about one another? America the beautiful. Today, I had a very interesting experience. It was called the America's Torah. A rabbi was killed in Miami for no reason. And the son-in-law and other people of the Jewish faith decided, what is religion all about? It's called communication. It's understanding and learning. And they're traveling the United States to say that. Somewhat interesting as it hit me, because didn't Martin Luther King, against violence, love thy neighbor, know thy neighbor, learn thy neighbor, and that's what this group of very young people are doing, traveling the United States to say we're all equal, we're all the same, let's understand one another. It's touching. You feel, and in my position where I'm honored to be elected, you realize what America is, could be, and should be for all people. Thank you.
Board Member McCray.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The only thing I'd like to say is that I attended the ribbon cutting. I have no disclosures or no conflicts. I would save my comments for under new business. Thank you.
Board Member Cannon.
No conflicts or contacts or relationships to disclose.
Okay, I have no contacts to disclose. I will say that I did attend the ribbon cutting. Also, on Friday evening, I attended the Sister Cities art and what do you call them, essay contests that they do with our sister city. It's held at the Women's Club. We had art from our sister city in Haiti and from our sister city in China and our schools here in Boynton. It was very nice. They all competed. It's a tremendous, the expertise these children have with art and with writing essays. It was really something to see. And, of course, they were given prizes, and some were sent. One was picked to send on to more competitive, farther up in the United States. Also on Saturday, I attended a Haitian educational cultural event at the Boynton Beach High School, where a big event of a lot of the Haitians came with a lot of the principals from the different schools in the area, talking about what they can do to work on the helping the Haitian children in their education. It was very good. And that's all I have. Okay, we'll go to announcements and awards from the CRA.
Good evening, Board. Christopher Burdick for the Boynton Beach CRA Special Events. We had movies in the park, so I want to recap. Our May 1st movie was Paddington. It was very successful, had great weather, as usual. Well, not as usual, but lately. Great turnout, had a lot of gift cards donated by businesses, and it had a really successful drawing for that night. And then recap our Music on the Rocks. On April 17th, we had Solid Brass was our band, and it was also a very successful night. A great band. I think I'm going to ask them back. It's the first time we had people dancing in front of the stage. It was really it was a happy night. And our next and last concert for the series is May 15th, and we're having Making Faces. They play rock, reggae, and funk. And our Music on the Rock series hopefully will return at October 16th after the summer is over. Thanks very much.
Thank you. That'll take us to the consent agenda. Anybody, nothing's been removed. Anybody want to remove anything from the consent agenda? If not, is there a motion? I'd like to accept a motion.
Second.
A motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Show the motion unanimous. Excuse me, fighting a little bit of a cold here. Let's see. I'm here. Any questions on, these are informational items. Any questions on the public comment log? Or questions on marketing business development campaign? If not, we'll go to public comments. Anybody, excuse me, wish to address the board on items not on the agenda? Please give your name and address for the record.
Good evening. My name is Harry Woodworth. Live at 685 Northeast 15th Place in Boynton. President of Inc. I just want to make a couple comments. So we kind of wind down for the summer, but didn't want to leave you guys without a final status on Federal. I don't know if anybody's been down North Federal lately. Since the U-Haul trucks have been gone, that is like a new street over there. The impact of that one change is just beyond the ability to understand. You come down the street, you can see the sides of the street, you can use the lanes. We talked to the chief of police last night and thanked him profusely for that and encouraged him to keep that up. That has made more difference over there than anything I've seen in the last couple of years. So if we could just kind of get the landscaping back in place over there that's missing and the dead and dying, maybe get those paver bricks cleaned up, that street would really be there. The AT&T guys are still telling us they promise they're going to have something done on those last 8 or 9 poles, but we're 50 poles ahead of them at this point. So if they could just get to those by the end of May, which may or may not happen, but I get back from vacation in the middle of July, and I'm looking forward to going after them if those poles are still there. So with that, I think it's just been great. I want to thank everybody for the help on Federal, and if we can't get the budget this year, maybe we can find something next year to get the last little bit, the litter and the plants and all that stuff, because it's really starting to look like a street. Thank you.
We're aware of your concerns. We're really trying to make it happen, so we appreciate it. Thank you for your input. Anyone else wish to address the board on items not on the agenda? Seeing none, we'll close public comments and go to public hearing. Item A is notice intent to dispose of real property known as Lot 23, Block 1, the Frank Weber add to Boynton, Plat Book 9, page 3, Palm Beach County. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
A motion is second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The motion is unanimous. Item B is notice of intent to dispose of real property known as 480 East Ocean Avenue, Boynton Beach, Florida. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
One second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? The motion unanimous. Notice of intent to dispose of real property known as 211 East Ocean Avenue, Boynton Beach, Florida. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any other discussion?
Yeah, I'd just like to ask the executive director how the negotiations are going on with Sal. Are they
Very well.
progressing well?
Yes, we have, the documents are drawn up. They've gone to Louis Longman's real estate lawyer. They've gone to Sal Campanelli's lawyer. They're back to us for comments, and they'll go back out one more time, and then back on the June agenda for approval.
Just pointed out, maybe we're going to have that discussion on the old business. So
Yeah, it's the next
No.
item on the agenda.
we're
So,
expediting it.
all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Doing it, yeah. Now, old business. Here's your progress update on purchase of development agreement. Ocean Ridge Hospitality Group LLC and CRA for 211 East Ocean Avenue and 480 East Ocean Avenue. Any other questions? Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Do you need a motion or just an update?
No,
No,
it's just an update.
But we did say that we wanted to bring it back in 30 days, so I'd like a motion to say that we've extended the
I
time.
can't hear
to bring,
you.
I would like a motion from the board to extend the period of time to bring back a contract for your approval to the June meeting.
Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Bring it back in June. Thank
Second.
you. I have a motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
All, the motion unanimous. Consideration of contract to purchase vacant lot from Palm Beach County School District in the amount of $12,500 for the model block project. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
A motion is second. Any discussion?
Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
This parcel of land we're talking about, it's going to be used to continue the road
Yes.
down. Is that? And my question is, who's going to end up paying for the new road?
When I met with you on Monday, I didn't know the answer to that question.
Right.
That is actually coming out of utilities and from gas tax money. That's where that funding is going to come from to complete that section of the road.
So the city's going to be paying for the
Yes.
road improvements
Yes.
down and through there?
That's
And
correct.
the purpose of that is to alleviate the traffic backup for picking up students?
That is my understanding, is that it's supposed to alleviate the queuing that happens on Seacrest for drop-off and pickup at the school at Poinciana.
Which is great, because the safety of the students is number one priority. I just, not amazed, but concerned that, you know, we're doing something to alleviate a safety problem, and the county school department, they don't consider it, they think they're part of selling us the land is their obligation and done? I mean, my question is, why don't they come more forward with some, you know, monies that say, listen, we'll help you improve the safety issues down there?
I haven't seen them do that. They will improve on their own property where there is students and their students exist and things like that, but that's not, I've never seen that happen in the time I've been involved in this type of work, but, you know.
Have you asked?
I have not asked, but the city was actually the one going after this property, so I'd have to ask Nancy Byrne if she did ask that question. They've owned this property for a very long time when I looked it up, so I would imagine if they felt that it needed to be done, the school district would have done it.
Right.
Maybe they don't have the money, I don't know.
Mr. Chair.
So it's just a matter of that, maybe asking. Who
Right.
knows?
The budget's there for in the utility department and also with the gas tax money.
The city manager may have
City
some
manager's
information
here.
for you on
Oh.
that.
Oh, why didn't you see her?
She just hobbled in.
Well, let's slow down now with the boot.
What color boot
You only
do you
got
have
one
on
leg
today?
left.
Good evening, Lori
Good evening.
Laveria, your city manager. Hello. I haven't seen some of you in quite a while. Okay, are we talking school district property?
Yes,
Yes.
that one.
No,
That
it's
one.
not, it's not school district, it's our property.
No,
The-
not
the-
yet.
Yeah, we gotta
The
buy
one
it.
where
Oh,
the
we're
12
buying
Yeah,
it.
we're
Yeah.
going to purchase
model
it,
block.
extend the road, yes, model block.
Yes, the school district has agreed to sell it, and we want to, and we have worked with the school district to try to, as a side benefit actually to the model block project, is to alleviate some of the transportation routing problems that they have at the school and they have a lot of stacking issues on Seacrest and so forth. So they're more than willing to work with us on that, and we actually plan to cut through that and make it a through street, which will provide also better access to Carolyn Sims. And I didn't know, we plan on paying for it through CDBG funding as well as some of our capital and as part of some of our utility project as far as the cut through.
And now the time would be due because we're putting utilities all through there.
Oh, yeah.
Now's the time, one dig, put everything in.
Yes, we have, I believe it's a water, sewer, and stormwater project slated and in the CIP for 11th Avenue. So we're going to be able to do what we can out of that to continue the improvements for the underground and use some gas tax money revenues we'll dedicate for the construction of the roadway.
Great, thank you.
Lori,
Mr. Chair.
you want to go first?
Yes.
Go first.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Since it's in my district, also, Nancy Byrne has also stated to us that she has contacted the property owners on both sides. Whether they agree or not, but we're going to put in there some nice foliage so that it will be like a buffer. So I'm just saying it will be an added incentive like for over there. I'm just saying we used to have a road that ran through there anyway, and I'm just saying before they built the homes there, and we're just recapturing what was there before.
And this is, we're very preliminary in all the planning on this, so we will certainly be in contact with the neighbors there and work that out, so it's not a nuisance to them, absolutely.
I'd just like to say that I believe that it's a good investment, and I use that word. We're improving an area. It shows the community that we care. It's our responsibility to take care of and maintain, and we should be proud to do that, because this, I hope, is just the beginning of other pieces of property that we can buy significantly for little money.
Yes, we really appreciate the school district's cooperation on this because I think it'll really help make even a better project of what we're trying to do there with the model block.
Mr. Chair, this is probably one of the property owners standing.
Yeah. Good evening.
Good evening. My name's Trevor Tarble. I stay on the north side, 1208 Northwest 1st Street. The property, we've cleaned the garbage out of it for years. 10 years I've picked up litter in that property. The school board, we've had to call them numerous times to have it mowed, to even have it picked up. It's a nuisance property. A lot of activity at nighttime in it. The other evening there was a shooting right there in front of the school and the property in the apartments. I watched everything happen besides the shooting. I heard the gunshots and went back and witnessed the officer chase them and everything. Me personally, I think it's a mistake to make it a road because I don't see how it's going to alleviate any backing up on Seacrest because it routes around the school to pick up the children. My son personally went there for 5 years, and I watched most of the parents will park in the sim center and walk back and forth. I actually personally went to the CRA and had them pour a sidewalk, asked them to pour a sidewalk, which they did, to alleviate the kids on the east side crossing the west side, crossing another street to cross back over. That helped a little bit, but making it a street, I strongly disagree with that. It's already a problem. Cars race up and down those streets all the time.
I have a question to ask you, if I may. What I'm hearing, and what I'm hearing from you, but what we're doing is improving and cleaning up and landscaping, and so therefore something has to be done.
Yeah, we'll be putting streetlights in as well.
I totally agree. I totally agree.
So it's like an oxymoron then what you're saying.
Yeah, I totally agree. I just, personally, I don't think it's going to alleviate any backing up on Seacrest for the pickup, the parent pickup. Because they go around the school. They're not going to go through that. They'll use it as a shortcut, just like a lot of other people that are speeding down 10th. They'll just use it as a shortcut.
Excuse me, I beg the difference. There's individuals who drop off coming on Seacrest. There's individuals who come all the way down Seacrest where they could come through the neighborhood, which they come through the neighborhood, they pass through, they go by my house. I live on 4th, and I know they're dropping off kids. I'm just saying, you know, that would be one of the problems for those that pass by my neighborhood. Through my street, they can come through there, sir, and that would be an enhancement to that community. It will help stop some of the problem. And when they have school that's letting out, they back all the way up, all the way down to the canal.
I understand that.
This would be an improvement.
I understand that, but the parent drop-off turns right there. You can see it. They're not going. It's just going to be one lot of street. It's not going to alleviate any backup on Seacrest.
And that is not the primary reason we're doing that. Please understand. And actually, I think what Nancy, our development director, is telling me, I think we're actually looking at the school district wants to reroute the parent traffic to come down 10th Avenue and then go up First and go in a different gate and pull 11th off there. But a big part of the roadway is more to serve as a connector and access to our facilities in the back there. I think they're trying to get the parent traffic off 11th.
Okay, I understand that. I definitely want improvements. I'm all for it. Like I said, I pick up the litter on both sides of that lot. I just personally, I don't think it'll alleviate any backup on Seacrest.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, we have a motion, I believe, and a second.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? So the motion is unanimous. Okay, that takes us to
C.
We received the appraisal report for the Ocean Breeze site, which at our last meeting, we discussed that we would go out for an appraisal on that, and it came in at $1,530,000. And I would like to ask the board that we go ahead and put it on LoopNet, which is the commercial property listing site. It's for the country, whole country. It'll get wide exposure, the property will. And I went on LoopNet last week, and I did not find any property this size east of 95 for multifamily vacant land. So I think it's a good way to get some exposure and get people interested in this site and get more exposure than just doing an RFP limited in certain websites like ours in the city. I think we'll get a lot more development exposure. We're doing it that way.
Mr. Chair?
go ahead, Margaret.
Yeah, Ms. Brooks, can both be done?
We can do an RFP if you want, but then I would not You wouldn't put an RFP on LoopNet per se. You can put it on there and then refer to an RFP if you want to do that. The RFP process is longer. It's longer. It is a longer process.
So this is, call it a new adventure where you feel the scope is greater, more viewers, and it will work faster if it's meant to be.
Under the state statute, you have two ways to dispose of property. One is through the RFP process, and the other one is through the notice of intent to dispose, where you find somebody that you are that's qualified to do that type of development that you feel comfortable with. You strike the development terms that you feel comfortable with. Then you do just like we did with Sal through that process. That's one way to do it. The other way is through the RFP process. We've done a lot of RFPs, and we have yet to get a development out of one. So we find that it's not the most it doesn't seem to work for developers, and West Palm's been through this, and so if you read the paper, you're going to see the same thing. Developers want to come and talk to you and say, what is it that you want? What kind of deal can we do? What is it that you want to see done in your city? And they want to know how it's going to work. So that's typically how I see it working with private development. So if you feel comfortable with that, we can try it for a period of time and see what we get, what kind of fish get on the hook, and we'll bring some development terms to you. And if you feel comfortable with that, we'll start putting it down on paper.
Well, wait, I want to. All right, you got Board Member Hay.
Yes. If I could get staff to help me understand this a little bit. I believe about a year ago, in April of 2014, we had this property appraised, and it was somewhere around, what, 235,000 or 330, something like that?
It's 550, I think.
Okay, and now, a year later, it's appraised at 1.53 million. I'm just curious as to what happened for the property to go up exponentially like that. That's great, but just help me out to understand how is it because there's more dwelling units per acre, or what happened that it almost triple or quadruple?
You're correct. You're absolutely correct. That's exactly what happened. The Heart of Boynton update, that's exactly what happened. The community supported greater density on that site, and then the multifamily market is very strong. So those two things combined made the price go up. Yes.
So just changing from, I think it was like 10.8
yes.
To 40
yes.
units per acre?
Yes.
And that caused it to skyrocket?
Well, not just that, but the actual market itself. Because like I said, there's really not a lot of sites in the urban corridor, between the intercoastal out to west of 95 even, of this size, the developable size parcels without doing assembly. There's very few sites, so that it makes it more valuable.
Okay.
That's one of the reasons.
I just had a concern when I was reading the backup that would not, scare away developers because it's so high now. Based on a year ago, it was low. So we would not be the discouraging or scaring away. Okay.
Not at all. If you look at the prices on LoopNet, this will be a cheap price.
Okay.
Board Member Fitzpatrick.
I had about the same comments and questions as Board Member Hay.
Casello.
It comes down to supply and demand. I mean, there's not many lots of that size of developing. The developers are around, so which brings the value up.
Correct.
Amongst the other things that you discussed. So
exactly,
which is a win-win for us.
Exactly.
You want
I
something
was
else?
just going to say cheaper is not always better. If land is worth more value, then the development of an area improves in every way, from not just the structure that goes up, but also potentially the retail that can come in or any other type of business.
Mr. Buchanan, did you want to say something?
No, I think we
McCray?
should proceed with putting on LoopNet.
Fine, sir.
Okay. Well, I think what the executive director is asking is which way we want to go with the first process she stipulated, or do you want to go on RFP? I kind of like the first one she suggested.
I move
I
that we
agree.
go that way.
And I second it.
Okay. So we have a motion to go that way.
So
and a
moved.
Second.
Second.
Any other discussion? All
I
in
have
favor?
one. I have one.
Go ahead.
Thank you. I'm just saying, when we give directions, it's going to be one of the things I need to say to staff to do what we request. I expect, I expect staff to move expeditiously, not, put it on the back burner. We have been wasting too much time on this property.
I think we want to move very.
Thank you, sir.
Go ahead and move forward. Great. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Show the motion unanimous. Next one is new business, consideration of letter of interest from Neighborhood Renaissance for the 2 CRA-owned single-family lots on the model block.
Thank you, Chair. We received a letter of interest to purchase the 2 lots on that, up on the screen there, that are in blue, that the CRA owns within the model block project from Neighborhood Renaissance. As you may recall, Neighborhood Renaissance has received a grant from Wells Fargo to do public improvements within the model block project, so they knew that we owned some parcels in there, and we sent us this letter saying we'd like to develop 2 houses. There's 2 houses there pursuant to the design the city has for the other lots as well. And so I simply am presenting that to you to see if there's interest to go ahead and do that.
What are they
Mr. Chair.
offering for the lots?
$10, and the reason is the city's selling their lots as well for $10. The houses cost more than to develop than they will sell for. They will need to find subsidy, and I discussed that with Terry Murray, the executive director at Neighborhood Renaissance. I said, I know you're going to need subsidy. Can you get it from somewhere? And she said, we'll get it. So,
Lori, wasn't there another 2 pieces of property sold for about the same amount of money?
Yeah.
the city you guys just approved
2 lots.
2 lots to the CDC for $10 each.
Yeah, that's why. So
Right.
it's not.
Yeah.
It sounds crazy, but it's not. Yeah.
It's not crazy.
Okay.
Boynton Beach faith-based.
All right.
CDC.
Does somebody want to make a motion?
I
on
move
this?
that we so.
Second.
Pardon? You made a motion?
Yeah, make
Yeah,
a motion.
second.
That we
Second.
proceed.
And the motion is?
That we
To buy it,
proceed
to sell it, I mean.
and sell the property for $10 each.
Okay,
Can I-
discussion.
To
Yes.
We will have to wait for the 30-day notice on one of them to expire, and we'll have to bring back a purchase and development agreement for both properties. So we're presenting this for your consideration and direction.
And I think if the motion could be to approve entering into negotiations for the sale of the properties to Neighborhood Renaissance, that would cover it.
right.
Okay, is that the
Yes,
motion?
yes.
Okay, and then the second
Second,
agrees?
yes.
And
Second.
Fitzpatrick, under discussion?
I have a problem with taxing people to subsidize single-family homes. Single-family homes are
I've got
becoming a
something I'm taking.
luxury in South Florida, so I think some of land would be a better use if it was in townhouses, so I can't really support this.
Casella?
We're assembling land in this block for our modern block project. Is that correct? And we currently have, I think, nine between CRA and the city.
I think we have 11 altogether.
11. So we really haven't got the whole idea. We have an idea, but we're far from reaching that goal. I think it'd be wiser at this point, because there's a lot of other parcels that we still have to assemble in there, that if we sit on this land bank yet a while until we acquire some other parcels there, and then we can make an informed decision on what we're really going to do with this. Instead of piecemealing it like one at a time, 2 at a time, I feel more comfortable. That's our whole motto sometimes, that, we want to assemble land. And I think this would be a great example of doing that. It's, for $10, it's not like we're losing anything or gaining anything here. I think it'd be best that if we sit on a land bank it until we get a few more of these parcels under our belt.
Anybody else want to comment?
I would just like to see the property developed. It signifies a start, it signifies a beginning, and this area truly needs new development.
I have another comment after
Go ahead.
Buck. Oh, well, Buck.
Given the area and what's being done and all that, I can't disagree with the fact that townhouses might be more efficient use of space in other places. I don't believe in this block's the way to go. I believe we should continue with what's started, the landscaping grant and all that. This is an opportunity to do something kind of special there, and I think we should do whatever we can and move it along as fast as we can.
Ray, did you have anything?
No, sir, I'm ready to vote.
Okay. Yes.
I think Commissioner Board Member Casella made a good point. If you develop four of the properties now, they're going to look good, and so what's like the parts that we don't own? We're just driving up the price. We're going to have to buy those at a higher price down the road. So that we're shooting ourselves in the foot. If you develop them now, they're going to drive up the houses and property we want to acquire down the road. So I just see that as it's not going to be very efficient. It's going to cost more.
Yes, go ahead.
I just feel we need to move on this. We've already set a precedence on this with the city releasing 2 lots to Boynton Beach Faith Base, and it turned out just fine. And I'm tired of prolonging and banking and waiting, and we have an opportunity here to make that neighborhood, that model block, what it should be in that community, which is an asset. So I'm in favor of moving forward.
I think this kind of goes along with what we've done just to the south of that with the 21 homes we built down there, beautiful single-family homes. This is kind of an extension. This is a model block. We're trying to show beautiful home ownership in there, so I like that idea. As far as the townhomes, I think that's something we want to look at on the east Seacrest there, that we got that property where we're going out for. I think maybe work better there. So I kind of like the idea of going ahead and getting this built and showing up what it's like. So that's where I'm at. But
And I have one last comment.
Yes.
I don't disagree with Board Member Fitzpatrick on the fact that, on what this might do to the other properties. But on the other hand, those are private properties, and we have no way to encourage, force, whatever, for people to improve the properties or to sell them. So if we waited until we had it all assembled, I'm the guy who doesn't buy green bananas anymore. So I mean, it's I just don't see how we can wait that long. I think we need to move forward and eat the elephant one bite at a time.
okay, I think I have a motion on the floor to go ahead and negotiate with the neighborhood Renaissance, and then I guess that would come back to the CRA after that. Yeah, and I have a second to that, I believe. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay.
So the motion passes 5-2. Consideration of change to policy for approval of release invitations to bid, requests for qualifications, and requests for proposal for CRA Board budgeted projects on maintenance items.
Thank you, Chair. This is really not a written policy of the CRA. However, it's been a practice of the CRA to write an RFP or an invitation to bid or request for qualifications and bring those for board approval on items that are in the budget or items that are for maintenance, and we budget for maintenance every year. So what that does is it adds additional time to the process because we have to write it and then we only meet once a month. So what we're asking is, similar to the city's practice, is because it's already budgeted and you've approved the budget, let us write the RFP, the invitation to bid, or the RFQ, and put it out, get our bids back in, and bring the qualified, most responsive bids back to the board for consideration. So that's all we're doing. We're not, again, we don't have a written policy. It's just been a practice put in place probably a long time ago, and we've just continued it. But we're just asking it to streamline the process to get these things going quicker, particularly on maintenance, particularly with maintenance.
What's the board's
I think that's smart, and since it's not it's just a practice. I think all we need to do is, if everybody agrees, just instruct them to do it that way and save time.
Currently do that with the city on the city's end. There, the way they put it out there, and then they bring the bids back to us, and we vote them up or down. I think that simplifies a lot of things.
Yeah, save some time. Anybody else? Yes.
I agree. I would just, because it's in a perhaps in a trial mode, that when you send them out, if you could just send an email to the board saying they've been, released, and so we know, get an idea of what's going on, or mention it in, I guess, in the weekly or bi-weekly meetings might be good enough too, just so we're up to speed on what's being put out there.
We could put it on the agenda that you're going to be getting responses, for future agenda items, so you know that they went out. That would be the easiest way, because they'd be coming.
Okay, I think you have the board's.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
Just the direction that go
Thank
ahead and
you.
do it. I guess that's all you need. Okay, consideration of systems audit and direct incentive funding agreement, payment releases to Hart Seabourn Cove LLC for the properties known as Seabourn Cove Phase 1 and 2.
Thank you. This is for the project in the south end, that very large multifamily project. They have to have a third party verify that they have a random check of units in each building to verify that each unit is functioning at the energy efficiency level that it's supposed to be, that we set when we went into this agreement with them. Then they submit that report to Andrew Mack at the city, who is LEED certified. He reviews it, and then he sends a letter to the CRA saying it meets all the guidelines, and then we bring this to you to say that they have met the guidelines. Their payment this year, if you approve it, is for Phase 1, $348,950. Phase 2 is $153,070. So they've met the criteria, and we bring it before you as we do for all of those.
Just to approve the payment.
Just to approve it, yes.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
A motion is second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Show the motion unanimous. Consideration of dates for a CRA budget meeting.
Thank you. We had 2 dates that seemed to get the most votes. That was August 5th, Wednesday, and August 6th, Thursday, at Intracoastal Park, where we normally have it. So we just need to know today what day would be the best day for everyone.
Mayor,
Go ahead.
the 5th I cannot attend.
The
5th,
He
which
can
is
make it
Wednesday.
on the 5th.
Let's have it on the 5th.
I move for the 5th.
Motion to do it on the 6th.
Oh, could it be either day, or do you both?
Either
days?
day, either day.
Oh,
It's
six.
the facility's ready
Motion
either
on
day
the
for us.
6th?
Yeah.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Show the motion unanimous. August 6th.
Thank you.
Item E is comments by Board Member McRae.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. First of all, each of you probably received the letters where it states that I will not be meeting with the CRA director anymore, and that was by my choice. I'm just saying I already get a copy of the package, I get a copy of the agenda, and for me it's not productive. That's the first thing. For the last 2 CRA meetings that we have had here, that was been information that was supposed to have been given to us. That was the very first one, when we had people that was trying to deal with the Little House and the Ocean Avenue project. And I was questioning about why we did not get our information and stuff, and they said we gave it to them. After I questioned it, we got it the next day, which I felt like it was like not good enough for us. I'm just saying, when we have a director, well, we're paying $126,884 a year to make sure that we are up on top. It's stated in our contract. I got a copy of a contract. I had Tara to pull it for me because I need to know what is going on, and I don't think that we're getting the best bang for our bucks. Okay, the second meeting, we was like inundated again by those individuals who wanted to purchase things on that property, and they looked at us and laughed and said, "What kind of board are you all running?" I felt real, real bad. My whole take is that the contract is up in October of this year. Representing District 2, and everybody like to say, about what's happening in District 2. Really, far as I'm concerned, when it comes to the CRA, unless I see a 360-degree turn, I mean a 360-degree turn, I will not be voting for Mrs. Brooks' contract. Neither will I be voting for a raise for Mrs. Brooks in 2015. Thank you, sir.
Executive Director's report. New business in the CRA district? Anything, there was, I think it was showed 4 different places in our backup that have come aboard.
Yes, we have new businesses. Thank you. 4 new ones coming in. So one was approved tonight, the Gulfstream Auction Gallery in Ocean Plaza. They were here tonight getting a grant from you. And George's Shoe Repair is relocating from Delray Beach, downtown Delray Beach, to Ocean Plaza as well. So we're seeing a lot of businesses from Delray coming up our way. So it's a good trend.
Any other business come before the board? Hearing none, stand adjourned.